Now, this video is going to be a little bit different. I was recently approached by somebody who I would consider an expert on jaw harps and musical terminology and music, and quite possibly the history of jaw harps. And I was told that I'm kind of being viewed by a lot of people on YouTube as an authority on harps, and I don't even know the history or correct musical terms. Oftentimes, when I hold harps that are held in a traditional manner, I'm not holding them in traditional manners. So, in a lot of ways, I'm misrepresenting facts and traditions about the jaw harp and also about how they apply to music. And I chewed on that. That was several weeks ago. I've been chewing on this for a while, thinking about it. And there's a lot of truth to that. I would like to first say that I am not an authority on jaw harps. I'm not a historian on jaw harps, and I'm definitely not a scholar or a musician. A lot of the terminology that I use to describe jaw harps is probably incorrect in a musical sense. I've called certain Morchang drone melodics. There's no such thing as a drone melodic. All jaw harps are, I guess they do produce a drone. They're a drone instrument because they're producing a fundamental tone. And I didn't know that. I just was like, well, the instrument itself it seems to have melodic capabilities and it sounds droning. I didn't know what else to call that, so I just made up the term drone melodic. That's not a real term. That's just what I call it. So in the future, when I'm talking about musical terms for jaw harps or just terms for jaw harps, these are not real musical terms. These are not historical or traditional terms. I'm just a guy in my basement who's immersing myself in jaw harps. I love the harp. I love playing. I love experimenting around with harps so much that if I don't know what something's called, I'm just going to make up a term for it. And in some ways, that's probably wrong, but I may continue to do it. I'm going to try to do some learning in the future of actual terminology of what these traits and what certain techniques are called. But moving forward from that, I'm just going to also say that these are what I call them. These are terms that I'm just giving them. I'm just taking from what's in my experience and trying to share it with y'all. And you guys y'all can take and use these techniques however you want. I'm not a musician. I wouldn't even call myself a melodic player. I'm probably more a rhythmic player or a rhythmic noisemaker who uses open close, who uses bits and pieces of melody, if even that. Now, I am going to be taking some lessons, and I'm going to be trying to become more of a melodic player, and I'm going to try to do some light research on history and traditions and proper terminology. But moving forward from this, just keep in mind, I'm not really an authority on jaw harps. I am a guy, I'm a heating and air professional who sits in my basement and plays harps all the time and sells harps, and I love harps, and I'm immersing my life in harps, but I am not a scholar or an authority on the harp or a historian or even a musician, but maybe in the future I may get more into that. I just want to alert everyone that I'm just a guy who loves jaw harps. I'm not an authority, but I have been told that I do need to know more about the harp, especially on the platform I'm getting. Some of my videos have received 50,000 views up, and there's 500 videos out there, and they're getting more views all the time. So moving forward, I just would like to let everyone know that if I'm playing a traditional musical instrument from your country and I'm holding it wrong, or I'm describing it wrong, or even not pronouncing the name correctly, it's not purposeful. I'm not an expert. I just love musical instruments, and I hope to learn more in the future, and I will continue sharing everything that I do with y'all. And thank you so much for watching. Be sure to keep your harps clean, keep them dry, keep them oiled. We're going to be trying to do more learning in the future, but most of the terminology that I use, they're not real terminologies. They're just what I call them. They're just the way that I describe techniques. And I love y'all. Be sure to keep your harps clean, keep them dry, keep them oiled. Be good to each other. Play the harp often. Experiment around on the harp. Even though I'm not a musician, I do believe that the jaw harp is a very unique personal experience, an expression of meditation, an expression of feeling, an expression of passion. and I'm going to continue playing, and I encourage all of y'all, continue playing the harp, continue taking techniques and developing off of them and putting your own personality and your own individuality in the music. I love y'all. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more harpery. Ramble ended. Adios.